Hey guys, we are uPals podcast team, and this is the first time to have this podcast here. It's our first episode for studying tips, and yeah, I'm
Woo!
wow, so cool.
I'm excited.
Yes.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm John. I'm a year three student studying information engineering from CUHK College.
And I'm Anna. I currently am a year one student majoring in science.
And I'm Apple. I'm also a year one science student and I am UC College.
Hi, and I'm Katerina, and you guys can call me Kat. And I'm studying medicine, and I'm year two student.
And my name is Nicole. I'm also a second year med student studying at CUHK. So today, to start off our podcast, why don't we first share our idea behind the background that we have? Why does everyone have this background set? John, would you like to share first?
Yeah, sure. So our virtual backgrounds represents our feeling at this moment, especially in this final periods. So why I choose this photo as my virtual background? Because as you can see, actually my heart is really peaceful. Yeah, I'm not that nervous about the exam. Yeah.
Wow, very confident.
How about you guys?
I share a second.
Yeah.
Cool. And my background, as you guys can see, is a clock here, and then it's chasing at people, and I am this guy right here. I enjoy studying five, and I like to study, but I am the person that kind of lose the time management, so I choose that background.
Okay, so I see that we already have some people that do struggle with time management. I can definitely relate to. And later in this podcast, we will be sharing some tips on how to manage our time properly. Let me share my background too. So if you guys can see, it's someone waving for help, kind of drowning behind an entire stack of paper, because this is how I'm feeling right now. I feel very overwhelmed and I feel like I'm drowning beneath all the anatomy terms I need to know, a lot of muscles I have to memorize for my exams coming up. So.
I can relate to that. Yeah. That's also exactly how I feel. So as you can see in my background, I'm kind of like hanging on a thread and hanging off a cliff, and I'm reading some books at the same time. So that's essentially how I feel. So I'm studying, but then at the same time, I feel really, really overwhelmed by the workload, and also very anxious in general about upcoming exams and not really sure how things will pan out in the future. So yeah, what about you, Anna?
Oh, actually, I can relate your feelings as well. And I'm also currently feeling very anxious about the deadlines. I find the online studies very hard compared to face-to-face, and it's very hard to concentrate and be productive for the whole day.
Yeah, especially online. Yeah.
Okay, so we've all discussed the questions, or not the questions, the issues that we've been facing. Are there any habits or solutions that you guys have tried implementing to overcome this? I can go first to share. What I did is I mapped out everything I had to do, and I looked at all the resources that I wanted to use during this exam, the month before my exams to start studying. And I created a study schedule on Excel, mapping out which topics I wanted to hit every single day. So for example, today, say I was supposed to study the GI anatomy and also do some of the basic MMG past paper questions. So that was the stuff that I was supposed to do today. And for me personally, having everything written out or typed out in a calendar helped keep me on track, so that I knew that I would eventually finish everything that I had to do, and I would pace myself, and it just helped tone down a bit my level of anxiety. How about you guys? Has there been any habits or solutions that you guys have been using in order to overcome your personal study issues?
Surprisingly for me, I guess you mentioned the calendar. If I put something in my calendar, then it makes me feel even more anxious. So what works for me is just to leave my room. I think it's very important because currently I have no roommate, and so there is probably no reason for me to leave my hostel at all. But I think it's really important that you find a place where you feel comfortable studying and which will help you to concentrate better, because otherwise it's kind of it will be demotivating, I guess.
That's interesting. So for me, it would be more about pacing between studying and also having a relaxing time, because like now it's the pandemic and I don't really have a lot of reason to go out unless I have to meet up with people, but that's not happening a lot these days. So what I usually do is I tell myself that before 6 p.m., I have to finish at least 3 or 4 lectures, and then I could go for a walk. So the idea of me being able to go out and have a walk and just go have a walk around the harbor area makes me feel much more motivated to actually study in the afternoon sessions. So what about you guys?
Yeah, I can relate to that because I think due to the pandemic situation, I think what makes us less motivations is and whenever we just wake up on our bed and we have to just go straight to studying or go straight to the online lessons, and I think we are loose of the balancing of studying and relax. So yeah, I think your solution is quite good. And for me, I am not really I'm not easy to find the solution to solve my problems. And currently, I think I have started to make some plans, like before like maybe before 2 p.m. I have to finish the statistic assignments or what. But I think my problem is I cannot stick with the study plan. Yeah. So maybe after today's podcast, I can learn more from you guys.
Yeah, all of us need balancing between studying and relaxing. Just like Kat, I like walking after studying. And one of my personal study issues that I'm facing is I do not have a dorm, but I like going back to university for study because I have some, I mean, the environment of my home isn't that suitable for study. So I like going back to university in CUHK, and I'm now staying in the learning garden of CUHK. And yeah, and CUHK is really a good place for walking at because it has the largest campus in Hong Kong. Yeah.
And yeah, that's actually a good hack for me personally as well. So if I study in an environment where everyone else is also working, that kind of puts enough pressure on me to actually work. But at the same time, seeing people motivated and being able to work also reminds me to kind of keep up with my time management. And I personally like to use Anki. It's an app that's pretty popular amongst medicine students. Probably Nicole can relate to that. And I try to pace it out between probably like 3 to 4 decks of Anki, around, I guess, 40 cards every day at least. So yeah, that would be personally how I would study new materials.
Okay, so Kat brings up a great segue into our first part of the podcast, which is discussing and sharing the different study tips, routines, or hacks that we use. She mentioned Anki, and that's one of the applications that I really like to do. I'm not sure if you guys have heard of Anki. Apple and Anna, have you guys heard of Anki?
Yeah, I've heard about this app before, but I personally haven't used this app, could you help me to introduce it?